Yeah, I want to second her comment that essentially this is a diversion, it's a media tactic of Donald Trump, where in essence he hasn't taken responsibility or he hasn't adequately addressed to women voters who represent half the country his comments, which are not just locker room banter, but they sound like those of a sexual predator. And no wonder women are concerned. Nobody said every woman thinks this very same thing about that, but that doesn't vitiate or that doesn't erase the basic nature, and substance of those comments that so many Republicans find indefensible.
All right, there was one time when Hillary Clinton was very much on the defensive. She was pressed about leaked comments she made in private to bankers about politicians having to have a public face and a private face. Let's take a listen.
Is it acceptable for a politician to have a private stance on issues?
That was something I said about Abraham Lincoln after having seen the wonderful Steven Spielberg movie called Lincoln.
She lied. Now she's blaming the lie on the late, great Abraham Lincoln. That's one that I haven't. Okay, Honest Abe. Honest Abe never lied. That's the good thing. That's the big difference between Abraham Lincoln and you.
Rich Benjamin, this is going to feed into the narrative that Hillary Clinton is in the pocket of special interests and that she's one of the rarefied elites.
I think it was a very long-winded, confusing answer to a very basic question. And I did see the movie, and I remember exactly the part of the movie she was talking about. But if you haven't seen the movie recently, you could easily get lost in that answer. So I think very much potentially it plays into that narrative that she's two-faced, that she's telling her donors one set of things and she's telling the public another set of things. I think there was just a simpler, more concise answer that she could have given, and that is, yes, you speak one way, not substantively, but just stylistically to some people, people you know, people who speak a different language, people who have a different set of assumptions and information, and then the public, sometimes you might simplify what you're trying to say. And so, to Donald Trump's credit, that was one of his very few rhetorical moments where he could pivot that and turn it into a joke.
More broadly, the rage that Donald Trump is tapping into is genuine, and she seems to have trouble with that, Rich.
Polls show that, yeah, she does. But I mean, that's part of her strength and part of her weakness. When you've been in public office for so long and you've done so much, you have a greater record to scrutinize. You do change your mind over that amount of period. And I'm not defending her. I don't even wish to say, you know, everything she's changed her mind on, whether it be same-sex marriage, whether it be on certain trade agreements, are agreeable or defensible. But she is open to that criticism, and she probably realizes in hindsight she could have given a more concise, direct, and perhaps witty answer.